Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well. Welcome to Reads and Eats. My name is Fiona. I hope you've had a good week. Mine's been less busy than I expected it to be, which was actually quite nice. And it's just with sort of where I'm going away on holiday tomorrow, so just having a nice, relaxing week was good. Weekend has been relaxing as well. As you can see, I finally finished it. Hold on, I'm going to give you a wee twiddle. For those of you that don't know, I was crocheting this cardigan for myself. It is a really long length one. Very, very long length. It's like covers my bookie, but that's fine. But there we go. It is finished. It is cozy. It is comfy. And I'm jolly proud of myself to actually have done this. I mean, for those of you that don't know, I did put it together. I had it finished, put it together, and the arms were like something out of the Sorcerer's Apprentice of a Mickey Mouse movie. So I unpicked them. Yeah, unpicked them and I redid them. And what I did was I did the cuff to match the ribbing down the side and also along the bottom. One of the sleeves it took me 2 attempts to do, but hey ho, it's done. I'm happy with it. I will get wear out of it. So yeah. So that was the achievement. So last weekend was I got it finished and I was like, woohoo! So have I got another project in mind? I do, I think, but not just now. I've still got my scrap blanket. I'm making a scrap blanket, so I've still got to add to that, which is great. I will be, and I know folk are going to be shouting at me. I can hear them now, and I know who you are. I'm not going to name you, but I can hear you now going, oh, for goodness sake. I am going to start probably doing some stuff for Advent presents and Christmas presents now, just to make a start, and then it means I'm not going to be rushing come like October, November, December. So I'm probably going to go back to doing cross stitching and embroidery type stuff, so that'll be fine. I'm quite happy with that. Reading wise this week, 3 books, so that is not bad. I was quite chuffed with that. So the first one I read was The Race by Roy Peachy. I haven't got it, Dad's got it. I gave it to him after I had read it. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5. So we meet Lily, and Lily is a really good athlete, and she's a member of the track and field club at school. She lives with her mum and dad, and I think her granny visits a lot, and she gets on really well with her granny. She finds her wee sister, as most wee sisters I believe are, annoying. But she's a really talented athlete and she works really hard at it. But her life at school is not brilliant because there's one boy in particular who makes comments about her, is derogatory about her Chinese heritage. She was adopted, her parents adopted her from China and her little sister from Azerbaijan. And there's one boy in school, let's say, who is really very derogatory and really not nice, and it really upsets Lily. But her gran is like, kill him with kindness, dear. So every time he says something nasty, she says something nice in return, and it's like totally throwing this wee boy off course. And the big thing is he's a rugby player, but he decides to join the track club, and he's like, I'm going to beat you at the sports day. And the big thing about sports day is that the Queen is coming because it's the Queen's Jubilee year. So we have that in the mix. And then the other side story is that in school, Lily's class is asked to do a project on Eric Liddell because it's Olympic year, so they've to do a project on Eric Liddell, and and she's trying to work out what is she going to do, how is she going to frame it, and speaking to her gran and her father, she decides to look at Eric Liddell's life after the Olympics, which was really good. I thought it was a really good take to do. So you get chapters of Lily, but you also get chapters of what she finds out about Eric Liddell's life after the Olympics. I mean, I knew it anyway, but it was just really, really nice to read, and especially this being Olympic year Paris 24. Eric Liddell won his medal Paris Olympics 1924, so it's 100 years since he won, and since Harold Abrahams won the 100 meters. So that was really, really good. as every book, there is a bit in the book, and Lily's got to make a decision. I'm not going to tell you what happens because if you want to read it for yourself, but Lily has to make a big decision, and you know, she has to think long and hard about things, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good book, a great book for middle grade, and I think a lot of people, even adults, would really, really enjoy it. So so that was the first book I read. Then I read The Law of Attraction by Nancy Naigle. I was very kindly sent this one by Harpeth Road Press for review. I've written my review, it's out and about. So we meet Whitney, and her sister-in-law Karina run the family law part of the law firm that is kind of like a family business. But there are many people within the law firm who are partners who are not happy with the family law, but they don't think it's important. But they have the backing of Whitney and Karina's, well, Whitney's father, Karina's father-in-law, and also like Whitney's brother. And all Whitney does is is work, and she needs to get a work-life balance. Karina and her brother have a wee girl, and they try to have a work-life balance. And at one point, Whitney pulls Karina up about not going out with her husband for dinner with friends. And so Karina tries to throw it back at her, but Karina goes, which is great. And her mum, who also works in the law firm, is wanting to redecorate the law firm. Or she did work in the law firm, and she's now going into this interior decorating sort of thing. And she wants to redecorate the law firm, and she's using this local artist called Matthew McMahon, who also paints big murals, and he's working a big mural at the moment, like just along from the law offices. So her mum introduces her to Matthew, but she kind of, whatever sort of thing. But then they bump into each other. Matthew and she have bumped into each other before, but she doesn't realise who he is until he comes to the law office with her mum. And then they start kind of, their paths cross, etc. And is it, they start a relationship, but will it work? Will it not work? Add into this the fact that one of the people who came to Whitney and Karina for their divorce proceedings actually found love within the law firm with another person who used the law firm to go through their divorce. So she's made a video about this and it's gone viral, and the people at the law firm are not happy, and neither are Whitney and Karina, and they've got people coming into the law firm now as what they call looky-sees to see if they can see anybody that they think might be going through a divorce that they might fancy. So their sort of secretary come legal assistant. The three of them come up with a booklet that they give to people who come into the law office who are, suppose either whether they be looky-sees or people who do definitely want to go through a divorce, and it's a workbook that they have to go through and then bring back with them to their appointment. And there's obviously, if it's a looky-see, the looky-see won't bother. So there's all this going on, and the partners are not very happy. And it's like, how are they going to get out of this? How are they going to manage to calm the waters, as it were? It was a really good book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I really liked the bit about how social media, yes, can be good. All of us on YouTube, are doing it because we want to enjoy it and we want to enjoy it. But it's also showing that there are parts of social media that are not good, that what some people might think of funny, using other people's names, etc., is actually not funny. It is not funny. It can have major repercussions for these people. And I thought it was a really, really good message for Nancy Naigle to put across. I really did. I thought that was brilliant. So I'm really pleased. So thank you to Nancy and to Harpeth Road Press for that book. Oh, thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I went for something completely different. I picked up The Innocent Mage by Karen Miller. Now, this is a book that I had asked Um, one of the gentlemen in my local Watersons, one of the booksellers, who does read fantasy, etc. And I explained the kind of fantasy I liked and what I'd tried and what I'd liked, what I didn't like. So he came up with 2 books for me. So this is the first one, and I loved this one. I gave this one 5 out of 5. You know, I adored this one. So we meet Asher, and Asher is a fisherman in Rest Haven. And he is bullied very badly by his older brothers, and they're really pretty nasty to him. So he decides that he's going to go to the big city and he's going to make money and come back and buy himself and his dad a really good boat. His brothers can have all their other boats. He and his dad will just have this special boat. So he tells his friend Jed where he's going and says to Jed, tell my dad, but don't tell my brothers, tell my dad. And off he goes to the big city. And when he arrives in the big city, he's trying to find a job. And the prince of the kingdom is riding his horse because he's going somewhere, and something happens. And Asher catches the horse for Gar, who is the prince, and Gar ends up on his backside on the pavement. And at that point, a lady called Danthe comes around, and she manages to sort of persuade Gar that Asher should be his next new stable boy. And Asher manages to bargain with the prince for how much he should be paid. Unbeknown to Asher, Danthe and the stable master, I think is it Max his name is? Are members of this, what is called the Circle. Now, I'm sure it was... I'm sure it's Matt, sorry. Not Max, Matt. But unbeknown to Asher, Danthe and Matt are members of this private group called the Circle. It's a secret organisation dedicated to preserving an ancient magic. Now, Gar is nicknamed the Cripple because he was born without magic. His parents got permission from the council, etc., to have another child, and his mother gave birth to Fane, who is what's called the weather maker in waiting. The type of magic that is used controls the weather within the kingdom, and the kingdom is being split in two because of a feud, etc., long ago, and there is this magical barrier that their weather helps to preserve. Fane is a spoilt brat, okay, simple as, absolute highest wee bag that there ever was. And she's really not a nice character, up herself, supercilious, thinks her brother is a waste of space, why should I deal with you, blah blah blah. His mother and father are lovely, they are really nice, and they love Gar no matter the fact that he doesn't have magic. But Gar is swamped with all the work he has to do as an administrator, so somehow it is finagled by Matt and Danthe that Asher becomes his second hand, his left hand man basically. And all is going well except there are 2 people within the palace system that do not like Asher and try to make his life you know, really not nice. But he's onto them, and he's like, yeah, whatever. You know, just go with the flow. Fane is getting magic lessons from the master magician, and they're waiting, etc. And somehow there's, that's right, Gar ends up having to go to Asher's sort of like home area for this festival, and his father hasn't been well, and something happens to his father that he has to come back pretty quickly. Asher also comes back with him, but Asher was going to stay but discover something, and things happen to Asher that he has to come back. And in the process of all the things that have been happening, there has been damage done to the palace, and they discover a secret library, and the master magician, with Gar's with the king's help, unlock this library. And the master magician finds a book there that he really shouldn't have brought out. There was a master magician before called LaVyrle, and she's the one that built the wall, etc. And something, he finds a book that he shouldn't have found. It should have been left where it was. He brings it out. He does something with it that has dire consequences, not only for Gar, but for his mum and dad, for his little sister, and also for the master magician himself. So it is ended on a cliffhanger, and I don't have book 2. I was like, what? You can't do this to me. You cannot do this to me. So, but I've decided I'm going to leave it. I will let it sit and ferment, and I will take it all in, but know that I will be getting book 2. There are 5 books in the in this like realm, as it were. And what is really annoying is book 3 is actually book 0.5. Why? You know, I get really, really annoyed about this. It's like, if you're going to write a sequel, or sorry, a prequel, write it first and then but don't write books 1 and 2 and then write your prequel. No, prequel comes before, and then there are 2 sequels to do with Asher's offspring. So I'm like, oh, come on. So I don't know whether to go. I think I'm going to have to read book 2 and then go back for the prequel. But that, I'm sorry, friends, that really, really annoys me. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've read last week. What have I started this weekend? Small Town Girl by LaVyrle Spencer. I'm sort of 53 pages in, so I'm taking this one on holiday with me. I'm also taking the new Sheila Roberts, The Best Life Book Club, and I've got my Kindle with me, so I am going to be well set for books this week. So yeah, so happy with that. I've also taken some colouring with me to do. I decided not to take any, sewing. I had thought about it, thought, no, I'll just leave it. So yeah, so that's kind of it. So I'm going to put another video together after I finish filming this. It'll be my May wrap, like stats video. So I'll schedule that for middle of the week, but there will not be a video from me. I'll see how I feel next Sunday. We come back on the Saturday. I'll see how I feel next Sunday, whether I'll put one out about, what I read while I was away. I'll probably vlog bits and pieces, so I'll maybe just put all of that as a one video sometime, maybe next Sunday or Monday. So I will do that. And then hopefully I'll get back to normal schedule. I'm aware that this last month and this month, the amount of videos were not as many, but I just think I was really so tired. I wasn't well, so I'm sorry about that. I hope to get back to doing my book and a bake and my author spotlight and everything this month, which will be good. But please let me know down in the comments, have you read any of the books I've mentioned? If you have, what did you think of it? What did you think of them? Are there any of the three that you thought, I quite fancy reading that? I would love to know. What have you been doing this week? And what have you been doing this weekend? As we've had a quiet weekend, watched rugby. Glasgow thankfully got through to the URC quarterfinals, thank goodness. Edinburgh, their game yesterday was absolutely awful. It was just not good. They didn't get through. But that is sport. That's why we watch it. But it was rather frustrating yesterday watching them play so badly. So that was that. So tonight we've got athletics, so that's quite good. We've got Diamond League meeting, and then next weekend starts the European Athletics Championship, so that'll be good. But that's it for this video, friends. Hope you've enjoyed it, and until my next video, stay safe, happy reading. Bye!